to begin the judging. These are all the cars that are going to get points judged. They've been placed along the wall. So people are doing the final preps on their show cars. For this, the owner will sit with the car, and only the judges and the owners and their cars are allowed in here until I believe it's like 1 o'clock. So we're waiting on clipboards, and then our team, and I'll be judging on the modifieds, which are the modifieds, everything other than Le Mans and Firebird. So we'll see what's in store, and I'm responsible for engines and chassis, looking to see if they're well done, really kind of just judging them on the quality, the build quality, shall we say, of that part of the car. All right, we'll try this again. Thought I was recording, but I wasn't. So, as I mentioned before, this is the points judged cars. I'm not going to spend a lot of time looking into each car. 66 GTO. It's in a modified class. And we've got this 61 Ventura, also in a modified class. It had some underhood changes with the rest of the car. We've got 77 Grand Prix. I think this was the year I had. 67 GTO. '68 GTO. I think this is in the stock class. And then a new GTO. This is an 05. 6-liter. Not the hideaway headlights on that GTO. 58 Star Chief with tri-power underneath that air cleaner.
1958, 1967. They were clear.
Another 67 GTO. There's another 66. Guess it's a 66.
That's German was trying to say like these.
Yep. Silver engine.
All these letters changed, they're all original.
Okay, 72 Grand Prix. Love the special paint deal on this. Very driver-centric interior. Oh yeah, and the hood tack. Nice. Early 70s Firebird, 73. 4-speed, honeycomb wheels. Followed by a 64 Grand Prix. It was in a modified class. Very nicely done engine compartment. Yeah, love this formula. I mean, alright, I love all the cars. Honestly, there hasn't been one here that I wouldn't just be thrilled to have in my collection. This being a 76. Kind of the mid-year-ish of this second generation F body. And first generation F body. I think this is a 68. And the 4-speed.
So, these, when you turn there is a plastic, these plastic bottom to that, right? Roll and pull. This is the bottom.
An 05. Love the blue interior. 6-speed, 5-speed, 6-speed. Nice looking car. This was in the modified class. And then like a 72. Yep, 72 GTO. Is it a GTO? Maybe not a GTO. Maybe it's a Le Mans. Yeah, that's a cool Le Mans. Next to it here. This is a Tempest. Oh, it's Le Mans, 66 Le Mans. Love the color of the interior. Pinstripes. Not enough of these old ones here. That's, I guess, the way the hobby's going. So this is in Oakland. Could be the only Oakland at the show. Well, it's the only Oakland being judged. So Oakland, for those of you that didn't know, was one of the original divisions of General Motors. And at one point in the 30s, early 30s, GM decided they were going to create these mid-level. So each of the main divisions got a daughter division. For Oakland, it was the Pontiac, and then the Pontiac eventually overtook. So here's a 58, and I was noticing earlier how many 58. So this big body seems to be the prevalent year for the points judged. This was a modified one. The top was up during judging, but judging is over, so they're now putting the top down, showing it this way. These cars will stay here. Judging is done for today. The popular vote is tomorrow, so these cars won't get moved overnight. Got another Grand Prix here. I think it's a 64. It could be a 63. It's a 64. 4-speed transmission. Oh, it's a Bonneville. It's not a Grand Prix. California tags. Eight lug wheels. Another 60. Here's a 69. This was the first year for this body style on the Grand Prix, and I mean, there's room for another engine. That's just so much excess, but that's what, I think it was DeLorean that drove this. Well, I guess it could have been Bill Mitchell. I don't remember who was responsible for saying that it had to follow what the Duesenberg did, where the front end was so much longer than the the trunk space. This one is the SJ. Taken, I guess the Duesenberg had an SJ as well. '66 GTO, very stock, very original. 8-track in there. That's special. Oh, I'm sorry, 67, not 66. They definitely have the unique diamond pattern on the grill. Beautiful color on this 62 Catalina convertible. Side view mirror all the way up there like that. Fender skirts, nice touch. Here was one of those orange GTOs that I saw the other day. This one I believe is in the stock class. No modifications to it. It's 06. Beautiful car. Alright, here we go with a 69. Got the Endura front bumper on there. A lot of these folks, once the judging is done, you have to have everything closed at the beginning of judging, then they open the hood, the trunk lid, and a door. They've just left their hood and trunk lid up because tomorrow's show, that's the way they have to be shown. But it's unfortunate. It's almost like there should be a period where trunk lids and hoods are closed so you can get a sense of what the designer intended the car to look like. The fact that these hoods open, yeah, you get to see the hood. I'm sorry, you get to see the engine compartment, but it's a shame. That was not what you see going down the road. These hoods open like this. In my mind, it detracts from the show. But part of the judging is to judge the condition of the engine compartment and in the trunk space. The visor. Paint marks matched. I think this is a 56, 55. It's a 55. I think 55 was, out of the Tri-5 years, the only one that had that painted bar across the front. T-tops on this Grand Prix, 81. Nice downsized looking body on this. I think this is a 94, no, an 02 Firehawk. Yeah, I had a chance to buy a Firehawk, a black one. Now, if I had bought it, would I still have it today? I don't know. That's special. And next to it is a 95. And this was also a Firehawk. Signed by somebody important. Alright, on to the next line here. Another last generation Firebird. The only Solstice in the judge show here is now actually being judged, so I'm going to stay out of their way. Next, it's a 69 Firebird convertible. Also being judged. Judges are standing around it. It's the 70 GTO. A wing that rivals the Fiero GT's wing. The inspiration, maybe. We've got a brown Trans Am. 79, 80, something like that. 79. Corduroy or velour interior. That was the popular upholstery back in the 70s. Here we've got another of the 58s, this Bonneville convertible. I'm sorry, this is a 57, not a 58. We've got a big body here. This is 70 Bonneville convertible. Next to it, Iris Mist 65 GTO hardtop. Single 4-barrel, not tri-power. No problem with that. It's a cleaner looking engine. Manual transmission. What a gorgeous color. It's 06 GTO.
Yeah, we just want to do something different, you know what I mean? I do these fuels. I just done one on the Coral
This car here,
out from Mississippi.
we
I just done this
judged,
fuel injection. That's why
and we just couldn't find anything wrong with it. It was just beautiful
manual
all
fuel
over the
like
place.
If you walk over and look, you'll see.
Look at those and come back and look at this, you'll see what's done. Yeah. You'll see what's done.
Got a judge
Yeah,
here,
this is actually based on the LF.
69. Push shifter in there. Judge windbreaker. Those were the days. Beautiful color on this. I think it's a Trans Am. I don't think it's a Formula. Yeah, it's a Trans Am GT. So I don't know what makes it a GT, but it's a nice looking car. Go back to the other line. I think this is a 79, maybe an 80 Formula. It's a 79. T-tops. Formula sticker on there. Next to a really nice 62 Tempest. Love the license plate on there. A lot of work into this one. Parts are impossible to find for these. You better start out with a very complete car. Kind of a pedestrian gauge cluster compared to the other cars of the day.
It's been redone inside, outside. You see the fender well?
Tri-power, probably a 389. This thing, I don't even think you could have gotten this with a V8. 62.
Like ours, we get a first junior and go back for a senior.
Nice hideaway headlights on this GTO. It's another 68. That is an incredibly gorgeous green. With the green interior, seat belts lined up, 8-track player. Next to a 65 Le Mans. Hey, I've got one of these.
It's pretty good. The only thing
Not here.
I first got it.
Parchment interior, black dash. Nice sticker. Should consider that for mine. That's what a correct engine bay for a 65 should look like. Not that mine looks anything like that. All the AC stuff is hosed up. Mine will never be a show car. It will just be get it on the road and enjoy a car. Next to a 64 GTO. Out of Indiana. Copy of the window sticker. Not $3,689 anymore. Good to note the differences. We had a wraparound chrome ribbed strip, and this was enclosed. I don't know. Wow, this is amazing. 58. I was having a conversation with one of the other judges about how they went all out. 58, it was like every design feature they could add to it, they did. Amazing color. I'm sure this has got power seats. Check out that dash. I'm glad to see. I'm not a fan of the gold grills. I like the chrome grills. Here's a 65. It's got the big engine in it, the 421. No, it's not a big block. All Pontiac V8s were on the same block casting size. All the way from the earlies, which were around 300 through 326, 350, 389. 421s, 428s, 455s. They're all blocks. Thanks. Here's the overhead cam 6. I think it made the first use of a cam driven by a belt in an American car. And again, may have been the first overhead cam production engine in an American car. This is in a 68 Firebird, and it is the I think it's the Sprint version, which used a different intake manifold and a 4-barrel carburetor. The standard overhead cam 6 was a 2-barrel, and yeah, manual transmission, and I think it's just a 3-speed. It is just a 3-speed.
Well, were those aftermarket?
So this should be a Le Mans. It's the luxury Le Mans version. So I guess the Ventura of its car line. This one's a 72. Next to it is a 66 GTO convertible. So notice all the cars were indoors. All the cars had to have their battery disconnected. They had to have a fire extinguisher. The gas cap has to have a piece of tape on it to ensure that the gas cap is there. Any one of those it's not met, you get yourself booted out. Next to this, it's a 66 the famous Bill Naifel Pontiac Tin Indian. And I don't know if there's a board with this, whether this is, they claim this is the Arlen Vance. This is the car. It's interesting the interior is so complete. And maybe that was just what they ran. You can read it yourself and pause the video. There's an early 70s
It's a famous race car.
Granville convertible. This was the last convertible Pontiac you could get until they started making them again. Many people thought 72, maybe 73 was going to be the end of convertibles forever due to safety legislature. But somehow it came back. And here's an interesting one. We had a history lesson yesterday during listening to a speaker who was a ex-Pontiac dealership. He said at the time before the Parisienne, GM had downsized. Their Bonneville was basically a gussied up Le Mans, so it was smaller chassis. Well, the dealers complained so much that Pontiac, which was producing this Parisienne for the Canadian market in Canada, they brought it in. And it was just built on it was built on a Chevy Caprice body line. I'm not even sure if they offered the Chevy Caprice in Canada. All right, a turbo Trans Am 301 engine turbo. It's a 79, 1980. It's an automatic, turbine wheels. And then the original Trans Am 69. You can get them either white with blue or blue with white. I love that blue, by the way. It's a great striking blue. .400 cubic inch engine. I don't think you were required to get a manual transmission in Trans Am. That one is an automatic. All right, on to this. I believe the only Fiero in the points judge show. And this was in the modified class. This gentleman did a really nice job. Powder coated the valve covers and intake manifold. Went with a different air intake system. This paint is amazing. Still retained the stock brakes, the single solid rotors. It was interesting to note the differences between this, which is an 87, and mine, which is an 85. I mean, obviously the fastback windows were a thing starting in 86. So he's got this grill here to open it up. Front fascia is different in this one than mine. I think it's mostly the paint details they chose to do. Nice job. And then we've got early 70s Trans Am. This was before the oversized chicken sticker. It just had the small chicken at the end, and then that striping detail, which is really nice, really nice. This is a 72. And it's one big tall shifter in there. It really didn't change their dash much. for this entire generation, and that even goes into the 80s. Clean vinyl was the thing until it became velour was the thing. Nice. Can-Am. Special. I think it was just a 1 year only. This would have been, we'll see, I think it's like 77. It may have been 2 years for this. It's built on the Le Mans Sport Coupe with just some Firebird Trans Am kind of touches on it. Love the striping details. Looks really sharp on an ivory car. Very clean engine compartment. Nice. I think the interior color is considered Firethorn, which sounds better than Oxblood. So this is a 77. So looks like a 34 Pontiac. So this would have been of the period where they had both Oakland and Pontiac available. This is just next level cool when you've got these cars from the 30s. It was such a treat for me to see so many cars from the 30s at that junkyard the other day. But that is nice. This will be interesting, all these cars pulling in over the next, I don't think anybody's really allowed to come in until like 7 o'clock, but he had a green shirt, which means he's part of the local club. So here we go with another 65 GTO, another immaculate engine compartment. This one had the air conditioner delete, or just didn't have the air conditioner installed. It's much cleaner without all that. I really need to see what it would take to revert mine engine compartment, at least, to get rid of that air conditioning. Chrome door lock knobs. Nice wood rim steering wheel. Alright, got another Trans Am. Very rounded, curvy surfaces in there. You're hard pressed to find a straight line. WS6 package, Ram Air, probably part of the WS6. Late 90s, 98. And then we're back to what, like 77, 74. Oh, this is a Super Duty. So you can see here only 73 and 74 had the Super Duty 455. Even with all the emission run compression reduction, they still were plenty powerful. Next to it here, like a 70s-ish Grand Prix. We'll look at the tag pretty soon. Honeycomb wheels, big long hood. Very predominant. I know that this headlight treatment is unique for this year. It's a 71. This, I think, is like a 70. Oh, 69. So the dual headlights in the front facial piece like that. They like their gills. My 65 Le Mans has got gills down in the front fender. I like that seat pattern. And again, the driver-centric dash. And then we're back here to, I think this is, the original year for a Grand Prix. So we're seeing these 3 Grand Prix in a row, which is nice. I mean, this is starting to get a bit of the boat tail look to it there. Anyway, this Ventura, this Grand Prix 62, back to it. Plenty of good gauges. This was in the modified class, a little pinstriping going on in there. A few tasteful modifications, including a dual master cylinder. But I think we've decided, as part of the judging, even in the stock class, you were not penalized if you replaced your single pot master cylinder with a dual master cylinder for safety purposes. Yeah, this early 70s. It's gorgeous, just gorgeous. 73. So this was, I guess, the last year before they went to the more squared off lines in the front. And everything else didn't change much from 70 in the rear end, at least. We've got this is a Star Chief with Continental kit on it. Look how that pivots up out of the way. It's convertible. I think this is a 56. No shortage of chrome on many of these cars from the 50s and early 60s. Nope, it's another 55. Very nice. No 56s that I've seen. We've got a 55. We've got a 57 that we saw. There's been a number of 58s. And nothing from the 40s or early 50s, pre-Tri-5. Another Parisienne. These are fun to find now because families, it was grandma's car and she bought it new and all this kind of stuff. This is nice. Very tasteful Trans Am badging and stripe. 25th anniversary. And then next to it is a WS6, looks to be about the same year. Although I think as cars got newer, less and less changes year to year. So this could be 2 years difference or it could be the same year. So this is a Formula instead of a Trans Am. Different ram air hood. So yeah, I think these are different years.
Yeah, but you say this, and we're not going to spend $100,000.
So 98. So not the same year as
I tell all the team members
The
previous
judging
one.
team stay task oriented.
Yeah.
79. It's got the turbo 301 in it, or 4.9 liter. It's an 80. I had to come up with special wings on the bird to go around that. Maybe they created the hump for the inlet around the bird sticker. Oh, nice choice. Okay, this is a dark green with a green Trans Am chicken sticker on it. I think these are aftermarket honeycombs. There's some talk about these how the person was going to be judged because of that. This is in a 73. Yeah, this is an extremely perfect car. And then the last car in line, I guess I do have to go over there, but the last line down here on the end is Le Mans Sport. They got it with sort of the Judge-esque style stripes. This is a 70. Alright, let's go wander down and catch the last of the cars. Guess I can wander and shoot the tails of these. My neighbors had a Parisienne. I always thought it was a nice looking car. At the same time, my folks had a 68 Caprice, which was an awesome looking car.
Oh, there is. Oh, okay.
It's nice to see a Fiero show car here. Yeah, barely, I mean, it's barely any different than a Caprice. Alright, so over here we've got the 61 Bonneville convertible. So there is no rhyme or reason to the order of these cars. It was pretty much how they pulled in this morning as to how they were set up. Tomorrow, they'll have different areas for different classes. Those classes could be anything from late Firebirds, Transams, etc., to another class would be GTOs and Le Mans. There's something about a black car. Just don't have the patience or time to keep mine black. Didn't go over the years wandering and talking too much. 72 GTO and 69, 68 Bonneville with the big 428 cubic inch, largest engine of the time. 69. And we can look at the window sticker. Such a deal. $1,400 in options. There they are for a total sticker price of $52.61. Green vinyl on the green car. Nice 2+2. So this was an option on the Catalina. It's basically take the hot engine, put it in a Catalina, 8 lugs, dual exhaust. I'm sure I know you can get a manual transmission, but I don't know if they didn't offer a Ventura or if this was a sporty option. I think the gills there, that was 2+2 only. This one has the 421, as I mentioned. I don't think you could have gotten it with the 389. And then another, I think this is a 60, okay, a 67. Yeah, I love the split of the body above and the bumper below. 67 is a really nice year. And the fastback look, very special. This is a 4-speed car. Hood tack. This was one hot car, 2+2 in the day. And here's another 67. I guess they travel together. Another 2+2. This one's the convertible version. That one's in the modified class, I think. Wow. So nice. Another Can-Am. Late 70s Trans Am. 77, 78, something like that. 77. And we're into the velour period here now. We've got the full chicken sticker on the grill. And finally, this is supposedly an extremely low miles collector's edition. Wow. Interesting hood sticker details. By the way, it's a 2002. Engine really buried underneath. And these other ones coming in. We'll see again tomorrow. We'll see these again tomorrow too, but nice 64 convertible here, GTO. Love the wheels. Doing that to mine. I don't think they're the same wheels, same kind of look, the same spoked gray. Zip down rear window, 4-speed, engine turned, body color being brought in to be part of the dash, tasteful modifications to the engine, and then finally, is this? Oh, yeah, it's another 55. I don't think this is a 56. Yep. There's a whole lot going on that dash. Okay.